Hello everyone, welcome back to another English language paper 2 video. Today I wanted to go over some top tips and a strategy which you can use for any question 5 for language paper 2. So this consists of using something called the 2-2-2 rule. So what does this consist of? So when writing your paragraphs must consist of the following. 2 AV, which stands for ambitious vocabulary. So ask yourself, have you used at least 2 types of ambitious vocabulary in your paragraph? Secondly, 2P, which is using 2 types of punctuation. So that could be a colon, a semicolon, a question mark, brackets, dashes, hyphens, or an exclamation mark. Now, if you are still unaware or in terms of how to use these, I have done a video, so please refer to my playlist where you can watch the videos on how to use a colon, for example. And finally, to the forest. So here, this is an acronym which we use for language paper 2. You should use 2 types of language techniques. So perhaps in paragraph 1, you decide to use a rhetorical question and the rule of 3. Paragraph 2, you may want to mix it up and use facts and figures and direct address, etc. So each individual paragraph you write must consist of the 2-2-2. Now, why is this important? Why is this significant? Is because if we have a look at the mark scheme, which is here, we need to look at what the mark scheme requires us to do. Now, if you follow the 2-2-2 rule, you are going to achieve the higher bands of the mark scheme. So that's a level 4. And if done accurately and correctly, you can score an upper level 4 for question 5. So what does AO5 and AO6 require you to do? So first of all, for AO5, your answer must be compelling and convincing communication. So your answer that you write must be interesting and convincing. So when the examiner reads your answer, it should sound believable. Your tone, style and register are assuredly matched to the purpose and audience. So if you are writing to the MP, for example, you must make sure you have a formal tone and you will avoid using contractions. That's something that often a lot of students forget. So this is something you need to avoid when writing in a formal tone. Also, extensive and ambitious vocabulary with sustained crafting of linguistic devices. So for sure, you are using ambitious vocabulary. Make sure you are using them accurately. Make sure you don't overdo it, otherwise it will lose its impact. But also a sustained crafting of linguistic devices. So what we mean by this is you're not just using it in the first paragraph, but you are sustaining the use of it. So you are using it continuously throughout your writing. Next up, we have varied and inventive use of structural features. So you need to have an effective opening and see how you can shift the focus or shift the viewpoints from one side to another. Perhaps look at the counter argument and look at why that's invalid. Also, writing must be compelling, incorporating a range of convincing and complex ideas. Now, for you to have convincing and complex ideas, that will most likely come from your plan. So please make sure you are planning. And if you can plan, you are giving yourself a chance of writing an answer which consists of convincing and complex ideas. And finally, for AO5, you need to include fluently linked paragraphs with seamlessly integrated discourse markers. Now, what are discourse markers? Discourse markers are things which give your answer or your article structure. So then your argument can flow from one paragraph to another. So I've given some examples here. So that could be using, for example, significantly, or however, or even although. And then for AO6, which is marked out of 16, these are the requirements. Firstly, sentence demarcation is consistently secure and consistently accurate. So again, your sentences are grammatically correct, your syntax is crystal clear, accurate, and your answer has clarity. Secondly, wide range of punctuation is used with a high level of accuracy, whether that's a semicolon, a colon, or brackets, etc. You need to make sure you use them accurately. Don't overdo them, but make sure you are using them correctly in order to score an upper level response. Use a full range of sentence forms for effect. This is very important. A lot of students forget to vary the sentence lengths. So make sure you try to use a short, simple sentence, long, complex sentences, compound sentences, etc. Use standard English consistently and appropriately with secure control of complex grammatical structures. So yes, absolutely, as mentioned before. So standard English, you are writing in a formal tone. You are avoiding the use of contractions and colloquialism. So avoid chatty language. High level of accuracy in spelling, including ambitious vocabulary. I'm sure you all have noticed ambitious vocabulary does appear multiple times. In fact, I believe it appears 3 to 4 times within the mark scheme. So there is clearly an emphasis on using highly ambitious words. And once again, finally, extensive and ambitious use of vocabulary. So what do we mean by extensive? You need to use a great range of vocabulary. Avoid using words like good, bad, sad, and happy. Use alternative synonyms. If you can use this correctly, then for sure you can achieve the higher bands for question 5. Now, if you look at AO5 and AO6, this goes hand in hand with the 222 rule, as mentioned. Now, if you can follow this for each individual paragraph, and you can do it consistently and accurately, then for sure you should be able to get the highest bands and possibly a grade 9. So this is something I've taught many students of mine who have gone on to achieve a grade 9 in their English language GCSEs. Hopefully this is something that you can use and implement in your own writing and see a gradual increase in your marks. And that takes us towards the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like and share for more education related videos. Thank you.